Today I'm going to give you one of the most profitable sales funnels on the planet. It's a very simple 7-page funnel that we're going to build together from scratch. Now, we're going to use Kartra for this, but if you don't have Kartra, that's okay. You can use this using any funnel builder or even just WordPress pages. You don't need to really invest in Kartra or any other funnel builder if you don't want to, but if you are using Kartra, I'm going to give you this funnel done for you for free that you can just deploy in your own version of Kartra and start using straight away. So let me give you an overview of what the funnel looks like and how it works. So here we have a funnel map and it's very simple. So we have the opt-in page here. Immediately after opting in, your leads will be taken to a thank you page. Now this requires a little bit of explanation because the thank you page does two things. I'll get into that in a little bit more detail later, but this is going to allow you to profit straight away, immediately. So we don't have to wait around, but of course not everyone is going to buy straight away. So what we do for the people who don't buy, we have this email sequence. Notice that on day one, we send a piece of high value content. So HVC stands for high value content, and then day 2 another piece, day 3 another. But on day 4, this is where we ask them to take action. We ask them to buy something, and the sales page behaves in a very clever way. So we have a countdown timer, and this uses genuine scarcity. So when the timer hits 0 and if they haven't purchased, then they will be redirected to this sold out page. So they have two options. They can buy, or they can wait for the timer to hit 0 and then miss out on the offer. There's a couple of things you can do with that redirect. I'll tell you more about that later on. So that's the basic funnel, but we're going to add an additional 3 pieces to make this really profitable. So we're going to take it to the next level. So this in itself is profitable. You will make money when you use it, but I want you to make more money. I want you to level up. So I'm going to give you an additional 3 bonus steps that will help you to make more money. And they are already done for you in the Kartra version of this funnel that I want you to take and deploy. So let's go ahead and build this funnel. Before we build the 7-page funnel, we have a really nice option available to us in Kartra. So if we go to My Campaigns, then click on Campaigns, Done for You, what we have is a whole heap of done for you campaigns that you can just deploy immediately. So if we were, let's say we were selling, let's choose one of these. Let's go with Tripwire campaign. So we could automatically deploy this and build that funnel instantly. So let's have a look at the assets. So here it's going to show us everything that is included in that funnel. So we get the tags, pages, products, sequences, lists, videos, forms, help desks. So that's all really good. It's all available, done for you in Kartra, and there's multiple funnels all done for you that you can just deploy straight away. Now, if you want to follow along with me and build the funnel that I am using, which is one that I built myself. So we want to go ahead and click on the pages section of Kartra. You'll be taken to a page like this. So we have lots of templates on the left hand side that we can choose. So let me just show you. Let me show you a squeeze page. So here it's got a whole wide range of different templates that we can import and change. What I want you to do, because the very first page we make, because we're building this backwards, the very first page we make has to be the sold out page or the offer expired page. And that is because we are doing genuine scarcity here. So if we say an offer is going to expire in 4 days time, guess what? It really does have to expire. And then when the offer is expired, anyone who tries to purchase it will be redirected to the sold out page that we are building now. So let's go with blank canvas, click launch builder. Let's give it a name. Sold out will do. If we can spell it, choose a category. I'm going with no category in particular. Then we can choose the site. I'm going with 7-page funnel. I'm going to click create. And now that's going to generate the template for us that we can edit. All we have to do is drag in a few key components. So it says drag and drop a section here. So on the left hand side, click sections. We can choose one of these sections if we want to. So let's say we want to use an empty section. So we just click on that, drag in empty block, and now we need to add a column. So again, on the left hand side, we go to components, columns, and we choose the width. I'm going to go with 100% and just drag that in there. Notice that when we move things around, we want to make it land in the green bit. So there you can see I'm flicking between orange and green. Make sure it's on green. Release the mouse and then you're good to go. So now we can add a component inside that column. So let's go to components. Let's go with text, because all we really need to say is sold out. So let's drag that in. Again, wait for it to go green and drop. Now we click the text edit icon there, and let's say something like, sorry, this offer has expired, better luck next time. Now here, instead of just saying sorry, this offer has expired, what you could do is have a price increase. So you can have a sales page that is more expensive than the initial offer. So if you want to do urgency in that way, that's perfectly fine too. So I'm going to make this bold and then we're good to go. So that's all we really need. You can add more details if you want to. You could also use this as an affiliate page if you want to recommend an additional offer, or you could have an opt-in form. You can do anything you want with this page. I'm just going to keep it really basic, really simple, so we can get on and build out this funnel. So now we go to actions, click the little icon there, and then click publish live. Now it's saving the page. Next, I want you to click on this get page link. Highlight the URL of the page. We can change it if we want to. So if we want to make it a little bit prettier, so maybe we want to say sold out, we could do that if we wanted to. I'm just going to keep it as this random bunch of letters and numbers. That's okay. So we get the link there, and we want to take a note of that. So what I'm going to do is drag in Notepad. I'm going to paste in the URL, and I'm going to label this as sold out. So sold out. So we'll come back to this later on. For now, we need to go ahead and make the next page in the funnel, which is going to be a sales page. So let's move that out of the way. Click close, and let's go back to the dashboard and add a new page. Now, back at this screen where we have the templates to choose from, we can go with different types of sales pages. So we can go with video sales page, long sales page. We've got other options here if we want to explore them. I'm just going to go with video sales page. So these are proven to convert templates. So if we just choose one that we think might be right for our niche, and I'm just going to go with a very basic one here, because we don't really want to distract people with too much information. I've found on a lot of my pages, if you bombard people with too much content, conversions drop. Now, because I'm a video guy, I do a lot of my selling through video. So for that reason, I'm going to choose a template that is heavy on video and it doesn't have that much else going on. So I'm going to click select on this one, launch builder. Again, we have to give it a name. So I'm going to call this 7-page funnel sales page. I'm going to put that in capitals so it stands out. Select category, same as before. And again, site, same as before. 7-page funnel. Click create. And then we're good to start editing things. Now, the great thing with Kartra is if you want to, you can upload your videos directly to the platform and it will do some amazing things. So here it's already generated that page for us. And what we really want to pay attention to here is the headline. So let's get rid of that subhead for a second. So let's think about the benefits of whatever it is you're selling. So think about the end result that your customers will receive when they purchase. So maybe we want to go something like finally revealed the secret to X that Y doesn't want you to know. So here we're implying that there is some big secret being kept from the customer. So X in this instance will be a big benefit. So the big secret to growing more tomatoes, or the secret to passive income, or the secret to whatever is relevant to your niche, that Y doesn't want you to know. So this is going to be a disassociative group. If you've gone through my courses or my other videos, you'll know that I speak a bit about groups, disassociative groups and aspirational groups. Very important to have these figured out before you write copy, because this is going to be a group. The Y is going to be a group that your prospects or your customers does not like. So if it's digital marketing, gurus always get a bad rap. So you know that gurus hope you never learn or don't want you to know. Whatever the disassociative group in your niche is, add that in there. So we could talk about headlines all day. If you want me to go into copywriting secrets and talk about how to write effective, persuasive sales copy, tell me in the comments and we'll be delighted to do that for you. So we have this video placeholder. So what we can do with that is we can click edit style, and then we can choose the destination, the source of that video. So here Kartra will allow you to upload your own videos to the platform and then add calls to action inside the videos. It's very powerful. But we can also choose YouTube and a few other sources there as well if we want to. So I'm going to allow you to choose whichever one is relevant to you. And if we go down here, we can edit this copy. Now, obviously, I don't know what you're selling or what your affiliate offer is going to be. That's fine. So what I want you to do is, instead of me just writing out stuff for you, what I'm going to do is add a few notes here. So here I'm going to write benefit one. And then in this section here, what I want you to do is have, where is it? Bullet points. So another benefit and another final benefit. So what we're doing with this section here is we're making it really easy to read, so people can just glance at that and immediately know what's going on and what the benefits are, and then we repeat it here again for each of these 3 sections. So we're now stacking the benefits. So that is very loosely how I would structure a sales page. And again, here you can change the call to action on the button. You can change the style of the button. I think that's a little bit big, to be honest. So I might want to reduce the size of that to large, maybe. Let's click on that. Maybe a bit bigger, giant. Let's see what that looks like. There we go. I think that looks pretty good. And then, because the VSL is going to do a lot of the selling, we don't really have to worry too much about the copy on the page. Now, another really important part of the sales process is urgency. So if we go to components, what we're going to do is add a countdown timer. So go to countdowns. Let's choose one that really stands out. So let's go with the orange, and we can drop it in onto the page there. So let's duplicate or clone that piece of text, so we make it clear that this offer is temporary, it's about to expire. So let's edit that text. Let's say this offer ends in, and then here we want to set it to, let's give them a reasonable amount of time to weigh up the pros and cons to decide if they really want to buy it or not. So let's set the countdown timer to 4 days. Go to edit. Here we can choose the terms of the countdown trigger. So if we go to based on, I would encourage you to go with tag. So we can do it on landing date, fixed or dynamic. So everyone who lands on the page will have, say, 4 days, but we want to be a little bit smart about this. So what we really want to do is add a tag. So that means only people with the tag can have this experience. So if we go down to based on tag, subscription dynamic, click that. Now we choose a category. Going with no category in particular, we can select a tag. And I've just realized I haven't created my tag for this yet. That's not a problem. So let's go to the communication section in Kartra, click on tags, and there we can add tag name. I'm going to call this 7-page funnel urgency, or we can call it countdown. It's really up to you. Let's go with urgency, and then we're going to say triggers countdown sequence. Then category, no category in particular. So we can also set an expiration date if we want this tag to expire. So if we want to set this to say 60 days or 90 days, 180 days, whatever it might be. So the reason why we might want to set this is because let's say we're running a special offer, but we want to repeat it, say 6 months down the road or a year down the road. Then we want to make sure that the people who didn't purchase this time, well, we don't want to punish them forever. So in 180 days, then the tag will expire and then they can have another shot at it. That's why we might want to add this expiration date. So I'm going to go with that. 180 days is one that I find works pretty well because I like to launch maybe every 8-9 months for my products, and then things shut up shop for a long period of time and nobody can purchase it when the countdown timer triggers. So let's click create, and that's going to add that tag. And now we can add that tag to the timer on our sales page. So let's choose the timer. So let's say 4 days. We want it to expire in 4 days time. And then this is really important as well. Redirect user when countdown reaches 0. Check that. And now we can choose which page we want to redirect users to when the offer expires. So let's go with select site, 7-page funnel. and I'm choosing the sold out page. So that's all very straightforward. Click apply, and now we can go ahead and publish this sales page. And again, when it comes up with the URL, we want to take a note of the sales page. So grab that and then paste it into our notepad, and we call that sales page. Good stuff. So if we go back to the funnel layout, so let's have a look at the funnel map. So now we have made the sold out page and the sales page. So we've got quite a bit of work to do, but thankfully Kartra makes it really easy, so we can just duplicate or clone the pages we need and just make small little changes, and then we're good to go. Okay, so now it's time to build the next series of pages. Thankfully this is going to be really quick and easy. So we need to build high value content pages. We need 3 of these, so let's just choose one of the templates available. Let's go to product launch. I really like these pages. So here what we want to really have is a way to communicate to our leads that they're consuming a series. That's probably the best way to explain it. So here we have templates that have got nice little icons or images to communicate that really clearly. So if we were to choose, let's say, this template, well, let's preview it first. So if we click that, there we can see on the right hand side we have these images that tells the prospect there are more videos coming their way. So that's exactly what we want to communicate. So let's select that one and launch builder, and now hopefully we can just run through this section really fast. I'm going to call this high value content 1, HVC1, and all the settings exactly the same as before. Click create, and really is just a case of adding our video. So what I'm going to do here is tidy this up a little bit. So what you will experience is the exact type of page that I use, because on my pages, my funnel pages, I often get rid of a lot of this stuff because I think it's a distraction. So if we scroll down here, I don't really sell on the funnel pages either, because what I want to do is focus on the value. Okay, that was quick and easy. So what I've done is just removed a lot of the distractions. So all we're really focusing on is the content. So you will change your logo obviously, but here what I'm going to add, where it says video 1, what I really want to add is video 1 of, so say video 1 of 4. So that clearly tells the prospects, the visitors, that there are more in this series. So it tells them explicitly there, and then it tells them here as well on the side. So here, what you want to do with the headline, again, if you want me to spend time talking about copywriting in a separate video, I'll be more than happy to do that for you. Just let me know. But here you want to include the big benefit of this video. So the big benefit of watching the video. And then here you want to give them more reasons to watch. And then you can change these images if you want to. So let's change the text. What I like to do in some of my funnel pages is, let's say, coming tomorrow, like that. And then the other ones, coming soon. Again, coming soon. So do change the images for your particular series of videos. Make them relevant. Don't just use the default ones. And then if we go to the image here, click edit style, and there you can upload your video, or you can import it from YouTube or wherever else you like. And then if we go to settings, SEO parameters, then we want to make sure that is HVC1, or you can give it a separate title if you want. Because this isn't going to be ranked in search engines, I'm not going to bother with that, but I am going to publish live. So that's going to give us the URL that we need. What we're going to do is add this to our email sequence eventually. So let's drag in Notepad and take a note of that. So it is called high value content 1, and then we paste in the URL of that page. And now we can close that and go back to the dashboard. Now what I'd like you to do when you're in the pages section, instead of creating it again from scratch, what I want you to do is click on these 3 dots. Here you will be able to clone the page. Click clone and give it a page name. So we want to name it HVC High Value Content 2. Click clone. And now it will take us to the page builder where we just change some of the details. So the first one that we need to change is video 1 of 4. So we change that to video 2 of 4. And then we change the video itself, obviously. So it's a brand new video. Again, we want to have the big benefit of watching this particular video. Let's say video 2. Go to settings, SEO parameters, change the title to HVC2. This is for your own record, so high value content 2. And then publish live. I'll change the images on the side as well if you want to. Get page link, grab that URL, take a note, so HVC2, and then we just do that one more time. Let's go to the dashboard. And then we clone it, so we do this one more time, clone, and we call this HVC3. So hopefully you can see the process here. So we're really not spending that much time building pages from scratch. We're doing a lot of template stuff. So we want to change that. Video 3 of 4. We don't need to do this again. So we only have 3 of these pages because the 4th one in the series is going to be the sales page. So you see we're building things backwards, aren't we? So big benefit of watching video 3, change the video itself, change the images as well, and then publish live. You can see how quick and easy building a funnel is. So let's grab that link, drag in the notepad, and we call that high value content 3. And these are all going to be added to the email sequence. So next all we have to do is create the thank you page. We have to create the form and then the squeeze page. So let's go ahead and create the thank you page. This is going to be the page that people see immediately after they subscribe to your email list. Let's go create that page now. And now we're back at the template section. Let's go thank you pages and choose one that we like the look of. So the thank you page is going to do a couple of things. So the first one is obviously it's going to thank them for subscribing. Secondly, it's going to make an offer. So what we want to do is deliver on the promise on the squeeze page, which we are going to make in a couple of minutes. So let's go with this one, let's preview that. So this one allows us to have a piece of content which is going to help deliver value, and it also has a call to action that we can change. So let's go with that. Let's hit select, and then we can launch builder. Let's give it a name. So this is 7-page funnel thank you page, and then everything exactly the same as before, and then create. And that's gonna give us a page we can edit. So obviously add your logo. Now what I like to do with this piece of copy, I like to say something like it worked or success. So we can go success, or I'll just go with it worked. I like to say yes, it worked, just so we reaffirm that it's done what it was supposed to. And then I also like to say something like, but let's keep the colors the same actually. So I like to say, but wait, before you check your email. So what this is doing, it's telling them indirectly that they need to check their email, but we want them to stick on this page first. So we want to add a headline here. So we want them to watch this video or consume whatever piece of content you have promised, and then let's add some benefits. So you will learn the #1 secret to X. So you're about to learn, let's say you're about to learn watch the video below. So what I want you to do with this video is deliver on the promise that you make on the squeeze page, which we're going to do in a minute, but also transition into a kind of VSL. So let me tidy up this page just a little bit, because what we want to happen is we want to deliver value so people feel like it was worth their while to subscribe, make it clear that there is more coming as well, but also we want to say there's a special offer. If they act right now, they can receive a discount on whatever it is you're selling, but there's a limited time only that this offer is going to be available. So we want to add a countdown timer to it as well. So let me just sort this page out so it looks the way it needs to for this instance. Okay, so I've just tidied it up. Now, it looks a little bit different. I think it has greater impact. So we've kind of streamlined it a little bit. So all focus is on watching this video, and then underneath the video, we have a countdown timer. Now this can either be to the main offer that you're going to promote later on in the funnel. The sales page has already been built. We built that a few minutes ago. Or you can offer a completely different product here if you want to. So if you're going to offer the same one as the sales page that we built, what you want to do with the countdown timer is make sure that the trigger is based on tag subscription, and the tag that we select is going to be slightly different. So previously we selected the urgency tag. Now we're not going to choose the same tag because our leads are tagged with that tag at a different point in the sequence. Now what we're going to use, if we're promoting the same offer that is on that sales page, then we're going to choose a start tag. So this is the same tag that prospects receive or leads receive as soon as they subscribe to the list. And because this is going to be in total a week-long sequence, we want to set the timer for 7 days. So it matches up with the 4-day countdown that they receive after 3 days. It will all make sense at the end, I promise you that. So for the moment, trust me, this is just something you will want to do. You don't want to use the urgency tag just yet. That comes in later. So again, we can redirect the user to that sold out page if we want to. I'd recommend you do that because it's going to demonstrate that you are really an honest marketer and you stand out against all the noise. So we choose that sold out page that we made. There we go, sold out. Click apply. And now we can publish live and we get that URL. So we take a note of that again. So we call this thank you page. I don't know why I'm writing in capitals. So thank you. Let's call it page. Take a note. Now let's go back to the funnel map and see how far we've come. So right now we have most of the pages done. Wasn't that quick and easy? The only page left that we need to make is the opt-in page, that squeeze page, and then we need to make the actual email sequence. So we're already over halfway through making this this entire 7-day funnel. Okay, so next, after we have a thank you page done, we need to build the form that is going to be displayed on the squeeze page. So to do that, we just go to Forms, Add New, and then we can add in the fields. Now, it's really interesting when it comes to building these forms. Most forms ask for name and email address. In my experience, if you have just email address, so if we get rid of name, the conversions is going to be slightly higher. However, over the long term, your open rates are going to be lower. So for that reason, I would recommend that you add first name field and make it mandatory. So what's going to happen here is we can use that first name as a variable in our emails. That sounds a little bit complicated. Don't worry, I'll show you what I mean. So what we want to do is add their name, the person's email, the lead's name, to emails, particularly in the subject title, so they know it's for them, and that will increase your open rates. So all you really need is your email, is their email address and their name. Don't add more fields than absolutely necessary. Just get the bare minimum essential information you need, because every field that you add, so we can add more fields. So if you want to add, for example, something ridiculous like the country or the website address or Instagram, whatever, each one of those is going to be a barrier. So your conversions are going to be lower. For every field you add, your conversions will drop. However, as I mentioned, we need the name in there because we want to have high open rates. So that's what I do. And let's click save. And we go to the next section. It's form fields, all good. Save and next. Single opt-in, double opt-in. It is entirely up to you. I like to have a mix depending on the offer. So let's click save for that. Now, remember the page that we just made previously, the thank you page. Remember we took note of the URL there. So if we grab that, we can paste it in here. When someone successfully adds their name and email address, they will be automatically redirected to the thank you page. Let's click save and next. We don't want to send any welcome messages just yet. So that's going to be taken care of later on. We do want to subscribe them to a list. So we want to go yes, subscribe to list, and then we choose one of the lists that we might have already built, or we can create a new one. And that means should they unsubscribe from the sequences that we build, which they will do, because we'll make sure that they do unsubscribe, and they might be entered into half a dozen different sequences eventually, but we want them all in one master list. And that makes things really easy for us later on. So let's choose one of the lists, or go ahead and create a new one. I'm going to create a new one. So we're going to call it 7-page funnel list. And then let's give it a description. So email list for the 7-page funnel. Then click create. Then add. And then save. And now we have subscribe to sequences. Leave that alone, because how we're going to add leads to sequences is through the tagging, which we actually forgot to do. So assign tags, change yes, assign tags, and we choose the start one. So remember earlier we spoke about using a start tag. Well, that's it there. So we just add that, then save, make sure that they are subscribed to a list, at least one list. They have that tag assigned. That's all we need to do. Save and next. And now we can embed this on another page if we want to. So if perhaps you're using WordPress or just HTML, you'll be able to do that pretty easily. Or if you just want to embed it in a squeeze page, which is what we're going to do next, then leave it at the default setting. Click save and then save and next. Congratulations, the form is now available for you in Kartra pages and Kartra videos. So let's go build the squeeze page. And this is the final page that we need to build in this funnel. So we're back at the templates, and let's choose squeeze pages. Let's choose one that is pretty quick and easy to get us up and running. So if we go right down, let's choose this one down here. I'll scroll back up to Launch Builder. Let's give it a name. So we want to call it 7-page funnel squeeze page. Category and site exactly the same as before. Then we can click create. So that's going to generate the template for us. And really, when it comes to these squeeze pages, we don't want to bombard people with too much information. So we want to keep it really slick. So what I like to do is just have a really simple page. So let me go ahead and get rid of all this stuff that we don't really need, because what's going to actually convince them to subscribe is your headline. So you need a really strong headline and maybe some benefits here underneath, and that will do it. That will get you a high conversion rate. Here you can add more details if you want to. I don't like doing that, just my particular preference. So what I'm going to do is get rid of that section, delete that block. I'm going to tidy up this for you, because what you don't want people to do is click around on other pages on your site. So you might need to have privacy policy, terms of use, that kind of thing. That's fine. But what you want to do is get rid of the social media icons. You really don't need them. So let me just tidy this up a little bit for you. So what I've done is given you a little formula you can use for your squeeze page. So when it comes to writing copy, again, if you want me to make more videos about copywriting, I could talk all day about copy. I absolutely love it. But what I've given you here is a very simple formula to use. So we can say something like shock results. So what you want to use is something that's going to grab attention immediately. Using the word shock can often do that. It will grab attention. And then we want to be specific. So we can say something like, see how X achieved Y. That should be Y. Let me correct that. Y in Z. So here we're being very specific. So see how one of my students achieved 30,000 visitors a day in his first 3 months. Something like that. So we're being very, very specific. You need that, because now is not the time to be vague or general. Here you're going to solve a very specific problem, just one problem, and you want to demonstrate the results. And then we want to make it clear at this section here, free video. We need the word free so people know all they have to do is enter the name and email address. Reveals how to ABC. These are benefits. So 3 benefits, 3 big end results without XYZ, without 3 negatives. So you're going to help them avoid something. So the ABC, you're going to give them something without pain. They're going to benefit, they're going to gain without pain. And then we add the form. So we click edit to configure form. Here we can choose the form that we just made. There we go, 7-page funnel opt-in. Click apply. And now we can publish this page, publish live. And that is the squeeze page done. Let's take a note of that just for our own records. So if we're sending traffic, if we're running ads, this is the page we want to send traffic to. So we call that squeeze page. And there we should have 7 pages. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All 7 pages done. Now, wasn't that pretty quick and easy considering how much profit this system is going to make you? So now we can go ahead and get started on that email sequence. And that's what's going to really drive a lot of your profit. So for this, we go to the communications section of Kartra, go to sequences, and now we add a new sequence. So I'm going to call this 7-page funnel sequence. We enter a public description. So this is, let's say, something like the welcome sequence for the 7-page funnel. And then click create. And now it's going to bring us a pretty interesting page. So here we've got lots of different options. So we can send an email straight away, add tags, all kinds of automations can happen here. So we can make things really complicated, or we can keep them really simple. Let's keep things pretty simple. So the first thing we need to do is add a starting rule. This is what's going to trigger the sequence. And in my experience, it's always best to go with tags. So we press the plus icon, and here we can choose different options. So we can choose an opt-in form, tag, list, order, page visit, sequence, automation. So let's keep this really simple and go with tag. So we're going to choose the start tag. So that will tell Kartra to trigger the entire sequence. And the reason we do that is because there might be different circumstances why we want prospects or leads to all be added to one list, but not necessarily have the same experience. That's why we go with tags. So I'm going to click add and then save. Now we have our starting rule done. We need to decide what action we want Kartra to take. So the very first thing that we want Kartra to do is send an email. So if we just drag that in like that, and then we decide when we want the email to send. Now we can send it immediately after they opt in, or we can wait a number of days or hours, or we can wait until a specific date. What I recommend you do is either send it immediately after the previous step, bearing in mind that your prospects, your leads, will go to a thank you page and watch a video. So you might not want to send it immediately. You might want to wait an hour. Bearing in mind, some people won't watch the video on the thank you page and instead will email you if they don't receive it within 10 minutes. So maybe right after previous step could be the way to go, but ultimately I'm going to leave it up to you to decide what is right for your business. I'm going with immediately after. And then we click next. Allow days. Let's keep everything here default. Communication. Let's enter a name of the broadcast. So what do we call the email? Let's call it day 1. Let's click next. Send if, this is important, anyone reaching this step. Click add. So we have a few different conditions here. So we can decide at what point someone should receive this. I'm just keeping it as anyone reaching this step. Click next. If we want to run an A/B split test, we can certainly do that. However, just for the purpose of simplicity, I'm going to go with single email. However, I do recommend that you always split test everything. Let's go next. And here we can enter the subject line, the preview text, and the body of the email. So remember previously we spoke about the forms, the name and the email address form. Well, I said there was a variable. If we take this variable, first name, and put it to the subject line, that is going to increase our open rates. So we might want to say something like, well, some benefit. It's got to be related to that piece of content that you create, that high value content one. So we could say the secret to X for, and then we have their name. Here we can add some preview text, so maybe open or read this. And now in the body we want to greet them by their name. So hi, first name. You asked me to send you some info on X that will show you how to Y without Z. You can watch here, and then if we drag in the list of pages that we've got, we take HV1, grab that URL, paste that in here. In your version, when you import this or create your own version, you want to change this URL. You don't want to use the same URL that I'm using. Then we make that hyperlink. Now, I have found if we keep hyperlinks naked so we can see the actual URL, I have found that the click-through rate is higher than if we were to just go with something like you can watch here. So that's another way of adding the link. I think you're better off keeping it naked like that so people can see what they're clicking on. They can see the destination. And then we want to say something like you can watch it here, and before you know it, you'll be able to X, Y, Z. Tomorrow you'll learn how to blank. Enjoy, and then add your name there. So what I want you to do is use this as a loose template, edit it as you need to, and add your own copy and make it really specific to your niche. So click send test email. We can add in an email address there to test that it's working. I'm just going to go next. So it's checking spam score, all good. New automation. Here we've got a few options. So if lead opens this email, we can trigger it. We can trigger Kartra to make it do something else. We don't need to do that right now. So we're not going to bother with that at the moment, but it's just handy to know that that is an option. So we click create. And there, if we hit activate and then connect them together like that, as soon as someone opts in to that form and gets tagged with that tag, with the start tag, immediately after that, they will receive the first email. Now we have a few emails to send. So what I'm going to do is clone the first one. I'm going to make minor changes here. So we go to edit. And what we want to do, this is very important. We want the delay. We want to change that to 1 day. So it sends it a day later. Click edit. And we also want to change the name to day 2. Click edit. And you will also want to change the actual copy of the email. I'm not going to do that at this point because it's going to be different for each person who uses this system. So I'll leave you to do that in your own time. And then let's click close. We can activate that, connect it together. So there you can see how things are flowing. And then we can clone this again. We can change the copy of the next email. We want to make sure that this is day 3. So let's click edit, change the name to day 3, click edit. Next, I want you to go in and change the actual body. I'm not going to do that because I don't need to, so I'll leave that for you to do. Click close, activate, make sure that it's connected to the previous one. So now you have each one of these linking to each of these pieces of content. So day 1 links to high value 1. Day 2 links to high value 2. Day 3 links to high value 3. Pretty straightforward stuff. Now, this is where things are going to change slightly because for the first 3 days, we're delivering lots of value, building lots of trust. And then on day 4, we want to make an offer. We want to pitch. Let's have a look at the funnel map. So here you can see what's happened so far. Day 1, day 2, day 3. But on day 4, we want to send a sales message. So let's go back to the sequence. Now at this point, we need to add a tag. So what I'm going to do is drag in a wait command. And I'm going to ask it to wait 1 day. You'll see why this is important in a second. Then click create. Let's drag that down further so you can really see what's going on here. Let's connect it together. Click activate. And then we want to drag in add remove tag. We want that right after previous step. And then we want to add tag. Now it's time for the urgency. So we add that tag, click create. Connect it to the previous step, activate. So now what's happening is after day 3 email is sent. It waits 1 day, then it adds a tag for urgency, and then it's going to send another email immediately after that tag is received. In fact, we can just clone one of those emails. So let's clone this one, drag it down and connect it to that tag. Let's edit the email. And we want to call this sales page. And the delay needs to be 0. So right after previous step, click edit. And then we change the copy of the email. Let's drag in our list. So we want to take the sales page URL, grab that, paste it in here. Again, change all the copy, change the subject, and click edit. Now we activate. So now, to prevent things from looking messy, what I'm going to do is arrange items. I'm going to click on that, so it's going to make it all nice and neat for us. So now we can see how things are flowing to the sales page. Now, remember we made that countdown timer and we added 4 days to it. So that means we have got 4 days worth of emails to send. So this email here is telling them that the cart is open and they should buy. But some people are not going to buy immediately. So we can clone this email here, and the next step is really important. So let's edit it, and we make it send 1 day after the previous step. Then edit, and then we change the name of it to, let's say, urgency 1. You can name it whatever you like. And then we go to edit content. What I want you to do now is obviously change the subject line, change the copy, but here I want you to start to apply pressure, just a little bit of pressure. So you want to say something like this: offer ends in 3 days, and then edit, close. We can activate that, and then we can clone it again. Well, remember we made that countdown timer with 4 days. So here we're reminding people that they have 4 days and that there's actually a countdown in progress. So they have 4 days to buy it, because not everyone's going to buy it when you send the sales page email. So we need to remind them that this countdown is happening. So let's change this to urgency 2. Go to edit the email content, and then we change this to 2 days. Obviously change the other copy as well. And then we can click close. Activate that. Then we can clone again. You can see the process here. So it is a countdown sequence. And then we would say ends tomorrow or ends later today, depending on how long you've got that timer set for. So that is the actual sequence. And then before we finish, what we want to do is unsubscribe them from the sequence. So we do this because it gives us a really quick view of how many people are in the sequence at any one time. So we can just take a quick snapshot look at what is going on. So after we've sent the urgency emails, then we can unsubscribe from the sequence. We just choose the sequence name there, click create, and activate. Let's line them up again so they're all in order. And it is good practice to also add a complete step. It's not actually essential, but in the early days of Kartra this was required. It still probably is good practice just to add a complete on there, connected up. Go back to that funnel overview, that funnel map. We can now see that we have these 3 emails added to the sequence. This is the countdown, so it's to apply urgency, and then should the visitors, the leads, fail to buy, they will be redirected to that sold out page. Now, as good as this is, there is another essential step that we need to take, because what happens if at any point during this sequence your lead purchases the product? What we don't want to happen is for your lead to continue to receive these emails, especially not the countdown emails, if they purchase the product. So we need to eliminate those under a very specific condition. So if we go to communications and then automations in Kartra, we can set the right conditions. So we can say select if lead purchase or customer buys product. Click that, and then we choose the product funnel, which of course is going to be different depending on what you're selling. So you will have to add that manually, but it is a very important step, and it starts with customer buys product. Then you just choose your product from the list here, choose the price point, then click add. So for example, if we were doing this in my traffic secrets funnel, you would see that if a customer purchases traffic secrets at this price point, click add, then we can unsubscribe them from the sequence. So unsubscribe from sequence, then we select the sequence, which is the 7 pages funnel sequence, and then we click add and then save. I'm not going to do that because it's not relevant to your particular products, but that's how you do it, and that's what you should do. So you need to set that automation. So to make this or any other system really work, you're going to need customers. So you're going to need traffic, because without traffic, you don't make money. Traffic equals money. So what I'm going to do is show you exactly how to get targeted traffic to your websites, to your funnels for free. I'm going to give you the entire system that you can just take and use immediately for free when you go to profitcopilot.com/traffic. Grab that, it won't cost you a penny. And if you found this lesson today useful, give it a thumbs up below, subscribe to the channel too, and hit that little notification bell so you never miss an update from me. And I will hopefully see you again in a couple of days' time. Take care.